Good morning, everybody, and I am back yet again at US-4567. I'm in Owego, New York again. It is a nice morning today. The sun's out. It's a little chilly. I've got the same antenna I've been using lately. So this is the Wolf River Coils Silver Bullet with the 17-foot whip. You'll see it's much shorter than usual because I've got it tuned for 30 meters. We're going to try to make a few contacts on 30 meters. Now, here's the thing. I already did an activation, so this is already a valid activation. I used a different radio. You will see that radio in a future video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make some more contacts here on 30 meters. So you're kind of coming in partway through the activation. So you can see I've already got quite a few in the log. But I figured I would swap radios and try a different band and see how things go. So like I said, this is a little bit weird because we're coming in sort of mid activation here. But let's just see what 30 looks like. So let me set my log up here. So this is going to be 30 CW, and it's currently 1240 UTC. So I'm on 10.108. Okay. Hands are frozen this morning. Okay, I just hit the RBN. .30 was not amazing earlier when I checked propagation. We'll see what it looks like. Could hop on 22. See what the RBN looks like. So it's not horrendous. Everything's going west and south, which is okay. With the signal noise ratio doesn't look horrible either. Not amazing, but not horrible. Man, we might get skunked on 30. Well, we'll call a few times. Like I said, worst comes to worst, we can switch to 20. If I do that, I'll take the coil out of the antenna and just run the vertical. Just run the whip without the coil in it. We'll call CQ for a minute, see if we get any bites. Like I said, if we don't, it's not a huge deal. Like I said, I've already got a valid activation. I've already got 16 in the log on 40 meters. Like I said, I was using a different radio before. That video will come out later. Well, we'll call CQ one or two more times. If we don't get any bites, we'll I'll spin the camera around and I'll tune this antenna back up on 20. Yep. 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 That's 2. Man, my keying's awful. My fingers are cold. You're actually at 5.7. another Arkansas. Well, we'll call CQ 1 or 2 more times here on 30, and then if we don't get anything, maybe we'll hop on 20 real quick and see if we get anything. Yeah, I got about 12 or 13 more minutes. I could probably go a little longer than that. Oops, that's calling CQ soda. I don't want to do that. I want to call CQ POTA. Didn't mean to call CQ soda. I am definitely not on a summit. I am in the middle of a valley. Sorry if this video seems a little disjointed. Like I said, I already shot a video and did an activation, so this is sort of after the fact. I'm just doing another one just for giggles. Like I said, my hands are really cold and it's not warm out. It is July and it is not cold out here, or it's not warm out here at all. It's quite cold. It's in the 50s, which is obscene for this time of year. I guess it's better than 95 though, so. All right, one more CQ and then I'm gonna switch to 20 and see if we get any bites. And I'll just spin the camera around so you can see me tune this antenna up. I'm gonna take the coil out, put the whip back in. Okay. Let's kill the radio for a minute. Let me spin you guys around this way. And I'm gonna go over and tune that antenna up. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the whip down, take that coil out. I've already got the whip partially down on 30 meters with this big coil. You don't need a lot of antenna up. I was on 40 earlier. This setup as it sits will work good down to 80 meters. I can make this work on 160. I've got another setup to do it, but it is really funky. I got a big tall thing you got to put in here. You got to guy everything out. So right now, like I said, right now I've got to do a setup for 40, and then I just tuned it for 30. And in order to tune it for 30, I had to move the coil column way up and bring that antenna way down, because this particular coil is designed for the shorter whip. But I try to get as much radiating element in the air as I can, so I run the big whip on it usually, unless I'm running a lower band. If I'm going lower than 30 or even 20 maybe, I'll either swap the smaller antenna whip in, or more than likely, I'll just take the coil out and run the full vertical. This is a lot more efficient, because this is a full quarter wave on 20 meters when it's fully extended. This one's actually slightly taller, so 20 meters on this thing is fully extended minus about 6 inches. This is one of the Wolf River coils, newer versions with the dual crimps, which is much nicer. So let's see, right about there should be about resonant on 20 meters. Let's find out. Let me get the Nano VNA hooked up. I don't really need it because this radio's got a tuner, so if I'm not perfectly resonant, I can tune this antenna up, but I would rather not have to run the tuner. So, fire this bad boy up. Let's see, recall 20 meters. Ooh, we're close. Got it 2.5 to 1 right now. Let's go ahead and play with the length of this antenna a bit. Like 2 to 1 is about as close as I'm going to get it. The reason for that probably is I'm not running my big radial field. I've got the Faraday cloth and a couple of short radials on it. If I put all the big radial field on here, I'd be able to get it down to 1 to 1. However, I don't feel like getting all that stuff out, so we will use the tuner to tune it up a little bit. 2 to 1 is doable, but I would much rather be closer than that. So let me spin you guys back around here so you can see again. We'll hop on 20 real quick and see if we can get any calls on 20. So fire the radio back up, switch bands. So we're going to go to 14 megahertz. We are going to find a frequency that I like. I like to go a little bit higher up in the band. I don't know why, that's just where I like to be. Let's turn our tuner back on. Okay, tuner is on. Let's go ahead and tune this thing up. We are 1 to 1. I'm on 14.051. Make sure we can see everything in frame. Yep. It is currently almost 9 a.m., so I don't know how 20 meters is going to be, but we will find out. All right, let's go ahead and call CQ. I'm running this on an external battery today. Again, I don't need to, it's got an internal battery in it, but I figure if I've got the external battery with me, I was already using it with the other radio, I might as well just plug it in and save the internal battery. 20's not amazing yet. You can see I'm getting down into like Costa Rica and out in the Midwest and down to Florida. If we don't get any bites, we don't get any bites. I suspect we probably will, though. Getting out a little better. Let me see, where is POTA? Man, we might get skunked on 20. It is a little early. 20 will work, but it's a little early for 20. I am running the full 10 watts out of this radio, which isn't a ton of power, but I apologize if, like I said, if this one's a little boring, disjointed, I apologize. Man, we might get skunked on 20. No, that's all right. One more CQ, and then maybe I'll try to hunt a few park to parks. We'll see if we can hear anybody. Okay, let's see if we can hear anybody on 20 meters here. So let's refresh the spots page, pause it. Not going to hear Japan. Not going to hear Virginia on 20 meters probably, but we will check. I can hear him. Just barely. Man, he is way down in the weeds. Yeah, he's probably too weak to work. All right, let's try South Carolina. That's more realistic on 20 meters. This is at 51.5. Nope. How about Missouri? Nope. Well, this may be why I've got nobody calling me. You can't hear anything. Yeah. 20 meters looks like it's not awake yet. In fact, I'm looking at Aaron's spots, and he got a handful of calls on 20, it looks like, but not very many. All right. So I'm going to go back up to 51. I'm going to call CQ a couple more times. And if we don't get any bites, we'll wrap this one up. Like I said, I apologize. I apologize if this video is weird. Doesn't go the way that they normally do. Like I said, this was not, I wasn't really planning on even doing this. I was planning on shooting the first video and then wrapping things up and going home. And I was like, you know what? We'll see if we can get a few more calls to the different radios. So. He's booming in. Dan. Well, that's a couple right in a row. A couple calls I know well. We'll call CQ a couple more times and see what happens. So both of those were booming. That was Indiana and Georgia, and they were both coming in strong. So maybe 20 meters is better than I think it is. People just aren't hunting. The 13 colonies event is going on right now too, so I suspect a lot of people are trying to hunt the 13 colonies right now. It just started yesterday. I've got a clean sweep so far, but I still need 3 of them on CW. I need Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Maryland on CW to get a clean sweep. I've got everybody on CW except for those 3, and I have those 3 on single sideband. I haven't worked GB13 COL yet, but he's really hard to work. So I worked France right away yesterday. I had almost all of them done in CW yesterday morning. So that's a fun special event, although it brings out some lids, man. Some of those pileups are horrendous. Both the CW ones and the single sideband ones are something else. We'll call CQ a couple more times. If we don't get anything, we'll wrap this one up. Like I said, I apologize if this one's weird. I just figured I would shoot another short video while I was at it and while I was out. All right, one more CQ and I think we'll wrap this one up. Okay. Okay, so like I said, I apologize if that one seemed a little weird. Like I said, this was not intended. I originally, like I said, I shot a video with a different radio. That'll be coming out shortly on the channel. And I was going to wrap things up, and I'm like, you know what? I've got the KX2 with me. I'd only worked 40 meters in the last radio. I'm like, let's see what 30 and 20 look like. I could have done that on the other radio, but I kind of wanted to do it with this one. So, you know, like I said, this time of the morning, this is sort of a weird time where 40's starting to go, 80's useless, 40's going away, 20 and 30 are a little bit wonky still. If I gave it another hour or so, I suspect that I probably would have had pretty good success, especially on 20. But yeah, I mean, the KX2, we've talked about it before on the channel. I'm not going to rehash everything. Those big verticals, those 17-foot verticals really do get the job done. You know, if you're looking for a really easy antenna to set up, these are resonant on everything from 20 on up, right? So I mean, you don't need a coil for 20, 17, 15, 12, 10. This will work on everything. Like I said, because I had this set up with the coil, I was using the Faraday cloth and just 3 radials. And that's why I couldn't get this super resonant on 20 meters. If I was using my big radial field with the 17-foot radials, the 12, 17-foot radials, I would have had no problem getting this 1-to-1. But yeah, these work really well. So at any rate, I can't even talk this morning. At any rate, everybody, I really do appreciate you watching. Like I said, I apologize again if this one was a little funky. I've been here about an hour, a little over an hour. So I think it's about time to wrap things up. But at any rate, yeah, that's another one in the books. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled for the video that I shot before this one, because that radio is, well, I don't want to say much about it, but when it's finally released to the public, I think people are going to be pretty stoked. So keep your eye on the channel for that one. And with that being said, I really do appreciate you watching my few contacts that I just made. What did I just make? Like 5 contacts? 4. That was super exciting. But at any rate, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, 7-3.